Right, so before we start today's podcast, we would like to take a moment of silence for George Floyd, Regis Korchinski-Paquist, and countless other Black men and women who have been killed in acts of violence motivated by institutionalized racism. Let's also take this moment to reflect on our individual privileges and how we can use that to take action and support those that don't have the privileges that we do.
Hello and welcome to the 6th episode of UnMasking Covid, a podcast that focuses on sharing unique personal stories during this pandemic. Today on our podcast, we will be joined by 3 inspiring female leaders that are working to support different communities affected by the pandemic. Jaya is a founder of Senior with Skills, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help seniors and find volunteer job and class opportunities in their residences and local communities. Carla is the founder of Student Z, a platform that connects university students with individuals looking for additional support and help. And finally, we have Karen, the founder of Blue Crowned Prints. Karen is selling digital wallpapers and doing commissions to raise money for the Emergency COVID-19 Fund at the Toronto General and Western Hospital Foundation. It is a pleasure to have you guys on our podcast. Now, to start off, would you like to quickly introduce yourselves and tell us a bit more about your initiatives?
I guess I'll start. I'm Carla. I just finished my first year in the health sciences program at McMaster University. Um, I guess you mentioned before I'm the founder of Student Z. That sounds weird to say, like a founder. But yeah, it's basically an initiative that like tries to connect university students and kind of encourage university students or more Generation Z students or students around like our age to be proactive in helping each other kind of support each other like going through this pandemic. So we're trying to connect high school students with kind of mentors or tutors who can help them out and kind of ease their transition to online schooling and just provide any additional help to help them throughout this time.
Great. I can go next. So my name is Jaya. I just finished up my undergrad in New York State and I'm starting med school at George Washington in August. And I'm founder of Seniors with Skills, and it is a 501c3 incorporated nonprofit in the US and Canada. And our mission is to end social isolation of seniors on a global scale. So since COVID-19 hit, we've been unable to actually send volunteers into retirement homes. So we started an online buddy program in which our volunteers are basically video chatting with seniors who are facing social isolation due to COVID to help reduce and prevent the isolation that they are facing and the related negative consequences.
Thanks so much, Saya. I'm Karen, and I started the initiative Blue Crown Prince. And essentially, I'm raising money for the Emergency COVID-19 Fund at the Toronto General and Western Hospital Foundation. And I'm doing so by selling digital artwork, a lot of wallpapers and landscapes and portraits and commissions and things like that. And the money that will be raised will be used to help protect the health of healthcare workers and patients in the Toronto General and Western hospitals, as well as will contribute to some of the research being conducted surrounding COVID-19.
Wow, it's great to hear all the inspiring things you guys have been doing. But I just wanted to know, what were your motivations behind your initiative? What really inspired you to get started?
I guess if you're going in order. So I guess my motivations behind this initiative and like what inspired me to get started is, I guess, I'm just the type of person that doesn't really like to like kind of sit back and like watch things kind of crumble. Like I feel like the best way to kind of tackle problems is to be proactive about them. So like I didn't feel comfortable with kind of just like being at home and like just streaming all day, which is something that I love to do, which is so but like I always kind of had that sentiment in mind, and I think that's something that really like kind of pushed me to start doing something. Was like I remember when all of this started happening, I was just super worried about like kind of myself and like what was going to go on for my future, and like listening. So I was just watching the news and like hearing about all the things that were coming out, and I know that like Justin Trudeau, our prime minister, I think when he was announcing out the CSB, he was saying how like he wanted to bring this out because like students our age, they're all building their futures during this time, and that's something that really resonated with me because like I really do feel like I'm really trying my best to build my own future, and at times I feel like that hasn't always been easy, or I've had so many different obstacles to face. So I just wanted to like help other students who are going through that. So yeah, I decided to, and I just thought like personally I'm not really able to, like I don't know how to drive, so I can't go out on my own to go help out. Um, and my parents, like, they wouldn't let me go out. They're pretty strict about that. So I wanted to do something that I could do kind of safely and at home. So I decided to start something um, online, which was tutoring. Um, and I specifically chose tutoring because I've had tutoring experience before, and I thought that was something that, like, honestly, like, I have a lot to say about, and I think I'm pretty, or at least I have confidence in that skill. So I thought, like, that would be the best way to just try and help other people out. And then that kind of built into also a mentoring program, just because, like, with all the news about open houses being canceled, and just thinking about all the seniors who didn't have the same opportunities as I did, that made things so much easier. And like now even a lot of universities are online, so it's going to be really different for them. But yeah, just thinking about that, like I also decided to try and bring in all like the connections that I guess I've made from being in university and like throughout my high school, and hopefully connect people I know with high school students who would want to talk to them. So yeah.
Wow, that's a really great story. So for me, starting Senior Skills, it started around 2 years ago officially. So I mean, I've been volunteering at nursing homes probably for the past 8 or 9 years, and I think I just have had so many inspirational stories. I've heard of seniors, and this one senior I was working with in the computer technology program. That's one of the programs that we had running before COVID hit, where volunteers would basically go to nursing homes and teach seniors how to use computers and iPads. But one of the seniors I was working with had never used a computer before, and basically I was teaching him how to use Skype, FaceTime, email, and he was now communicating with all of his family all across the world. And because of that, I just really wanted to encourage more young people to start getting into nursing homes and, making those intergenerational connections. So that's my motivation behind starting Seniors with Skills as a whole. But basically, we had the computer training program, and we also had a cards and knitting program. So that was a program where volunteers would make cards and knit with seniors running before COVID hit. And then after COVID hit, I realized, our organization has so many wonderful volunteers. Like, it would be such a shame if we weren't contributing to the cause. And then again, now we're hearing so many articles coming out about the unfortunate scene in nursing homes. And I know firsthand from speaking to activity directors at nursing homes how lonely and isolating it is. And I thought to myself, you have this wonderful force of young volunteers who are more than happy to have these video chat calls with seniors. And hence, I started developing partnerships with retirement homes, and now we're having around 3 calls a day where our volunteers are video chatting with seniors who are feeling isolation.
Amazing. Yeah, so much like Carla and Gaia, my motivations for starting were very personal as well. My mom is a healthcare worker, and although she's not a frontline worker, she works in management, so she deals a lot with ordering supplies like protective equipment. And I've been at the beginning of the lockdown, I kept on hearing these stories from her where um, originally equipment was being sold for a few dollars. So a box of 50 masks would be sold for like $2-3, and now the price has gone up to $50. And a lot of these healthcare communities, although they're being publicly funded by the government, it's really hard for them to get the equipment they need. And so that's sort of my motivation for starting. That's why I wanted to donate to the Toronto General Foundation, because I wanted to make sure that these workers, like my mom, are getting the equipment that they need. And so I decided to do this through drawing, because drawing is something that I've been doing my entire life. I've been drawing for more than a decade now. And quarantine has given me the opportunity to really experiment with my art a lot. And I had a lot of suggestions from family members and friends. They were like, oh, you should start selling your art. And I considered it, but I think at the end of the day, I think that this initiative means much more to me, and the money will mean more to a healthcare worker than it means to me.
Yeah, it was it's really great hearing about kind of like where the idea started. So it seems like a lot of you're really attentive to the needs of the community, to see the sectors where COVID-19 has hit, and then you kind of lean back onto like your talents and your experiences to do the best you can. Like Carla mentioned, for a lot of us who don't know how to drive or might not be able to like go outside and help physically, like doing these things online still definitely do make a huge difference. And I think a lot of people, like Carla mentioned, are at home, and a lot of people do want to contribute, but oftentimes they might not really know where exactly to start. And I think especially for people our age, it's often like the uncertainty of how much of an impact it would really be able to have. So I think that leads on to the next question of, like, when you were getting started, did you face any inhibitions about wondering how much of an impact you would have, or whether you would be able to have an impact? Do you have any of those inhibitions, and how did you overcome them?